Hi, I'm Sharon, and this is Power Me Healthy. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm here to teach you guys how to make an easy, nutritious frittata. Before we start, I would like to give you my ingredients. However, I want everybody to know at all times that you don't have to stick only to my ingredients. There's a lot of other options. For this frittata, we're going to be using a pepper, a tomato, and an onion. This is not a must. You don't have to stay with exactly the same ingredients. You can change the ingredients. There are some ingredients that work really well with this. For example, asparagus is a very good ingredient. Broccoli, I know it sounds weird, but it's a very good ingredient. Spinach is also a very good ingredient. You have leeks. There's so many other options. So if by chance you're at home and you want to make your frittata and you don't have these exact 3 ingredients, don't panic and just change the ingredients and it will just taste as good. So to start, I'm going to be cutting the onion and sauteing it so that we can start with that. So the reason I'm cutting the onion is so that you guys can see that you don't actually have to be a chef to cut an onion. You just slowly but surely cut it, chop it. Any way you cut it is fine. Anyways, at the end, you're going to be putting it in your pan. But before we put it in our pan, let's start with some olive oil. Yeah, and you're going to slowly let that simmer. About half an onion is all you need for about 4 eggs. While the onion is going, I'm going to take about half of this pepper and chop it off. You don't have to use the pepper. I think it gives it a particularly good flavor and it's actually very good for you. So make sure you don't put any of the seeds in. There you go. Simple. And you put those in with your onion. It's always a good idea to season your vegetables while you're making a frittata. Now I'm also going to use a tomato. I personally don't like the skin of the tomatoes when I'm cooking. I don't like that leftover feeling, so I like to peel my tomato. I have here in my hand a handy dandy tomato peeler. So I want to talk about this for 5 seconds as I'm peeling. It is very important while you're cooking to have gadgets because the gadgets make your life easier and automatically make it easier for you to cook and do things at home. If you have to start thinking about everything you do, it makes life a lot harder. Like this, it just makes your life easier, which is why gadgets are so important. Throughout my series, I will be talking more and more about gadgets and what gadgets I think you absolutely need. This is not a gadget you absolutely need. This is just something I personally like. My mom gave it to me a few years ago and it works amazing.
So what would you say your favorite gadget is this year?
This year, my favorite gadget would be my NutriBullet. That's definitely my favorite gadget. I use it for everything. I use it for my smoothies in the morning. I use it to make my own flours. If I want like a light smoothies, I make my pineapple mint smoothie. I love it. Okay, so you cut your tomato. Again, you don't have to worry about it being perfect. Doesn't really matter. It's going in the pan and it's going to get cooked with everything else. The smaller you cut your vegetables, the faster they cook. So keep that in mind. Okay, so next step is the eggs. We're going to take 4 eggs for this. This serves 2. 2 people should be good for this. So you crack your eggs. Easy peasy. You always have to remember to season your food because otherwise it doesn't taste good and it's very bland and then you're not happy with what you're getting. Don't forget to mix your vegetables, okay? These vegetables are pretty much done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove them from the fire. There we go. And I'm going to prepare my eggs. With a fork, I'm going to take some salt. Make sure it's well seasoned. Okay, here you go. Just make sure they're well blended. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your vegetables, hopefully they're not too hot, be careful, into your eggs. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do is to pump in as much vegetable into my egg as possible so that it has all that nutrition for breakfast and you don't have to deal with what am I going to have as vegetables. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil here. I like to use olive oil when I cook, so I try not to put the fire too high so it doesn't burn. And there you go. You need to higher your fire so that it's hot, and you wait, okay? It's always nice to have the pan already warm. Take a few minutes. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, it's starting to settle at the bottom. So I like fluffy eggs. So in order to make them fluffy, what I do is I pick up the top, try to sneak it up in the bottom, underneath. So it makes it cook it faster, and it gives it like a nice fluffiness to the egg. Okay. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for it to settle, and then I'm gonna flip it. Let's try and use this. I'm gonna scoop it up for you so that it's easier. There you go. And then what you do is you take your plate. This is the hardest part of the frittata. You take the pan, put it on top of the plate. Easy. You either use a plate. I find the top of a pan easier. Tomato salad next to it. My kids love this. It makes the eggs so much fresher. If you don't have tomatoes, again, you can put a little bit of cucumber. That also makes it delicious. And you don't need to dress it up with much. Just a little olive oil and salt. There you go. Then you take your frittata, and as you can see by now, it's ready. Perfect. Look at that. You can add just a little bit of peppers on top to give it some greenness, and it's ready. Okay, this took us exactly 15 minutes to do. It's a very healthy, nutritious meal. Enjoy.